Shalom, family. Glory be to God, and blessed be the Lamb. Good morning. Good morning. Preliminary matter. You know, there was a recognizable number of black people who voted in the last election. I don't know the exact number, but it was recognizable. That's for sure. So, first of all, this is why foundational black Americans must separate from other Americans. It's not because we necessarily have a problem with them. And when I say other Americans, I mean other black Americans, those of melanated skin who can pass for looking like us, as far as the root of history begins in this country. Okay? It's not necessarily them that are the problem per se, but we know, as those who were born and raised here generationally, that they are used as a buffer. And when they say the word black, they include them knowing full well that we have a totally different history with them. This perception is used in all kinds of ways, politically, civilly, and sociologically. And but to those black Americans who voted, would you tell me why? Would you tell me why? Are you just doing your civic duty? Is that what it is? Because everyone around you who votes get something for their vote. A vote is a transaction. A transaction. I give you my vote, and you give me something in return. With that in mind, I ask, why did you vote? What was your axe to grind? Or were you voting for anybody but Trump? Maybe the vote for the Democrats was actually a vote against Trump. That makes sense politically. It makes sense. But excuse me, but the question remains, why do you vote? Do you see what's going on around you? In 60 years, black people, quote unquote, voted for Democrats. Now look around you. 60 years. And what can they show you for 60 years of black people voting for them? Destruction. Destruction. Destabilization. Recolonization. Anyway, I'm going to leave it just where I began at. Why do you vote? And if you can't come up with a viable answer based on logic after careful analysis, then you probably shouldn't vote. If you couldn't give this answer out loud and say, this is why I vote, then you probably shouldn't be voting. You probably shouldn't be voting. I want to ascribe motive to you because I don't know you that way. I'm just saying, every time that you vote, you have legitimized the very system that is hell bent on destroying you, stopping your advancement, harming your families, taking your land. Moving on, moving on. You can know what is it with this country? I've never seen a political system more helpless and hapless, defenseless, and and fickle against the reality of what they see. I don't even understand the electorate. I, on the cool, I understand the black ones. They really just do whatever they think the majority of the dominant population do. I keep saying that African Americans have no true identity. They lost their identity a long time ago. They are whatever that they are told they are. They are, and they do what they are told. They know their place. They know what to say, what to argue for, what to argue against, and they have replicated themselves through childbirth by the millions. That's the pipeline. That's the pipeline. But that's neither here or there. That's neither here or there. Where do you live? Where do you live? A country of freedom? I mean, every right that your fathers fought for have been wrestled back from you with legislation and the induction of fear. One thing about fear, I mean, if you, one thing about fear is that it will make that person to give up their rights and yours. They're scared, so they're busy giving up their rights. Example, as you lost all of your privacy, that was a huge argument. I mean, it started with things like, wait a minute, that's my name. That's my address. Whose information is this? I thought it was mine. Turns out, no, it's not. It's not mine. It's whoever gets their freaking hands on it. And they can sell it. They can manipulate it. They can transact in it legally. And they do it every day. Sell your information. And they actually had the argument over whose information is it. Weird. Weird. This is not an argument that your fathers or forefathers would have even had with their asses. They wouldn't have even went there. And yet, not only did they go there, they took your privacy, took it for money, and now it's used to track you, infiltrate you. But who couldn't see that coming? And that's not the point. The point is, what is America? Who runs this country? And do not you know that you have been infiltrated completely? Anyone with any kind of intelligence background can openly see it. Openly. The infiltration is clear. The numbers on it is clear. And what is the excuse? What is the excuse in all of this? I mean, I just want to know, what is the excuse? I mean, you know what? It's two types of people that I avoid: fearful people and victims. I avoid them both. I avoid the victim and I avoid the fearful person. You know, I avoid the victims because I found that most, believe it or not, most people are willful victims. Others will claim victimhood for the rest of their lives, not just on a personal level, but on a cultural level, as we see now. And this possession of victimhood and you continuously dealing with victimhood to the point that you have given your country over. Now, that's just theoretical. Theoretical. Maybe it's that you are to believe in, I mean, I don't even know the word for it, because I can't use patriotism. I can't use words like loyalty as I watch the country be taken the hell over. I mean, I'm not even talking about migrants. No, we not talking about migrants. We never was talking about migrants. That's the point. We were never talking about fucking migrants. Never. We talking above the migrant's head. Period. Do it look like I'm afraid? Man, listen. Moving on. We've been infiltrated at the top. At the top. And until you're willing to ask yourselves, as Americans, as foundational Americans, I mean, let's be clear. As as foundational Americans, in which you don't want to make any distinction between foundational Americans that go back generations and those who just arrived, particularly what you consider Caucasian or white. And because of this, oh man, it's fake and it's unsustainable. How do you go from killing and slaughtering each other just a few decades back into now being lovey-dovey to where everybody is free to come and go? I mean, all of it based on our social order and the need for us to maintain the dominance. So for the need of the white male, let me get this too is theoretical. For the need of the white male to remain dominant, he will accept that he will lose some of his power to other white males. I mean, man, you know what? I didn't think it through. My bad. I really didn't think this one through. That was flippant. It just popped in my head because I'm just trying to understand, man, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? 2% control your government. There's no other way you can say it. You have organizations that do nothing but attack Americans on the behalf of a foreign nation and a quote unquote foreign culture all day, every day, all day, every day, all day, every day. And where are the foundational Americans at? As they push your ass further and further to the margins that don't have enough oomph to survive what's really happening. It's not a damn black problem. It's not a black problem. It's a black land with your ass on it. But it's not a black problem. It's your problem. We don't have no power here. If we had the government, it would have never happened. It wouldn't have even gotten off the floor from the beginning. Because the minute that we would have noticed that 2% of the population has taken this much control to the point that they're white, they're openly influencing policy, paying people off, openly hurting Americans, targeting Americans, creating in have bought media, threatened social media, threatened censure, threatened assassination. I mean, and where's your government? Well, I hate to tell you, but they are the government. Your government, in terms of your dominant white male over here, got outmaneuvered. I guess through love and kindness and patriotism and outright respect from some type of codified whiteness that the rest of us know nothing about. Know nothing about. So once again, his need for dominance and power will make him shoot himself in his own foot. He, he, he will shoot himself in his own foot intentionally. And now he's stuck. He's stuck. He's taking the money. And again, I'm not stupid. We're not talking about even all white men. White men know who is who. Trust me. They know who the sellout is. But they know who the patriot is. And they know who the racist is, whether they are on the one side of it or the other. They know. They know. They understand every word out of my mouth. Every word out of my damn mouth. And again, everything when I speak, I'm speaking to millions. A lot of them have power. So so you're hearing shit that I would be saying to them behind closed doors. Behind closed doors as I look at them. And you wouldn't hear it. It's talked about like this all day, every day. You don't hear it. You don't hear it. So now you hear it. And it's not about you. It ain't even about this white man over here. It ain't. We on some biblical shit. This is all, I mean, man-made experiences. But the point I'm trying to make is, I mean, how did all this happen? It happened with money. Money. And in the face of the truth, he chose money because the truth may require that he to give up some measure of his own authority that he's given it himself, his own dominance that he's given himself. Goodness gracious, man. And when it gets to the point in this land of freedom and free speech, that how you go from free speech to I'm going to tell you what to say. Don't you say that about that guy. That guy right there is just special. Look, when he farts, golden smoke rises into the air. Did you see it? If you follow him around after he eat a particular meal, you might even catch it yourself. I mean, it's ridiculous. Like that is. Really? You're going to create whole segments of society, some of them with dual citizenship, and that is a problem. That is a problem. But you're going to create entire segments of society that if you say anything about them, you can be incarcerated, censored, you removed and banned parts of the Bible. You, I mean, all this based on their victimhood. Never again. Motherfucker, bang, it's a nice morning. Strike that last word, MF. That was a Freudian slip. All reptilian. I do not know that required no thinking at all. Just a little stem at the back of my neck that connects the spine to the brain. That came from there. Strike that one. Goodness. So those who have a dual citizenship, you speak that word and then everybody started flaking. Everybody started flaking. Well, hey, where else does anyone have dual citizenship? In what country? You don't have it anywhere. Hardly anywhere, if anywhere, but the United States. And what is the advantage of this dual citizenship versus the disadvantages to the United States and its political body and its society? What is it? You will speak nothing loud. You won't broach many subjects for the sake of what? A temporary non-pain when you can see clearly that pain is coming? Well, let's hurry up and live good. Let's hurry up and drink fine wine. Yeah, yeah, but I just looked at the radar. The monster is only 15 miles out. How fast is he moving? About 3 miles per hour. Calculate that, please. Son, we got time enough for one more goddamn party. Crank the music up. Crank it. Son, leave. Go outside, take a walk, light a damn cigarette. The monster is coming, and there's nothing we can do, so we gonna party our way. Pass me the Coke. Who got that saucer of Coke? Thank you. To give it, son, listen, Dad don't care what you see today. Today you're gonna see some things that you ain't never seen Daddy do. You know why? The monster 15 miles out, just like you say, and we don't give a fuck. We all know we gonna die anyway. Goodness gracious. No preparation. We going down with the ship. No resistance. Let's just march right into it. Okay, okay. You want to march right into it. What about you? Man, you lucky that we don't take your ass at face value. We don't take you at face value. You told far too many stories to be taken at face value. We have to verify and fact check everything you say. Period. Even your coughs could be disingenuous. We don't even take those at, at face value. When you clear your throat, man, just let us finish our oratory here, or diatribe, or whatever you want to call it. You have no right to say anything at this point. You helpless, miserable. I can't defend myself. I won't stand up to speak out while at the same time calling myself some kind of supremacist above nothing but niggas, apparently. Above nothing but niggas, apparently. So you be quiet. You can't control niggas. That much we do know. But we do know of a whole host of groups that seems to be in full control of whatever they want to do in what is presumptively your country under your governmental authority. So you really don't have anything to say. By all the practical measure, you failed. Your government is bought out. Your citizens are miserable. Your citizens are suffering. They can't pay their bills while they work. While they work, they can't pay their bills. And they are becoming homeless in increasing numbers. War is everywhere, but we can do nothing about it. So here we have the Anti-Defamation League, and I'm not finna respect them at no level anymore. I'm not talking about them. You can play this game as if it's not what it is. You can do that. You can do that. You can choose to stick your head in the sand like it's not what it is, when we all see what it is. You can do that, and apparently you can afford to, because you run up the nature's debt to 38 trillion and you never pay your bills. So you can definitely fucking afford it. You have the world's largest credit card limit that we've ever seen. This better than FedEx Platinum. 38 trillion, 38 trillion and trillion in debt, and he's still running a tab. Now that's some kind of drinking. That's some fancy drinking over decades. That's a lot of moolah, Bubba. A lot of moolah. But at any rate, you can stick your head in the sand while one group, one race, one culture, one religion dominate you. Dominate you. Even on the world stage. To the point that you look like you are its proxy. You are its proxy. May I remind you, gentlemen, may I remind you, this is what it looks like in pre-World War II Germany. You should hear the lectures given by the German orators about how their society was going down the toilet, how they was once great here. Now they're nothing. They looked at their literature, and they looked at their cinema. They looked at their banking, and it all pointed to one race, one ethnicity, one culture, one religion. See, you won't say these things. You refuse to say it as if it's just disrespectful. You need me. Imagine a black man trying to save a white man. What the hell kind of dichotomies do we got going on here? This gentleman cannot save himself for shit. He can't. I'm telling you point blank. Politically, he can't save himself. Now, damn it, he can't. He can't. He can't. He can't. He can't. Let that sink in. And and again, I'm not saying to this using the term race like you would think, or the term white like you would think. I'm using the term white because they are a sociological, political subset of the population termed white. So for those of you who think that using racial terms mean racism, well, you basic. I mean, I'm talking about seventh and eighth grade with basic. You wouldn't even know what racism is. If I gave you the definition of it, then you would have seen it clearly that it is you who have the problems with racism. It is you who have the problem with bias. It is you who have the problem with prejudice, not the other. Not the other. And you would instantly see it. But that's not for this morning. That's not for this morning. So what shall we do? We see what's going on. Hell, I mean, in a few seconds, I have no other choice but to call them by name. You don't, because I refuse to. I don't even know how you be a man. I don't. I just don't know. You know what? I, yes, well, I almost want to pause the damn audio and just to tell you something off audio. But I'm not going to do that because I've been through the same shit. Okay. But we had different motivations. See, my motivation for the dealing with it week after week after week after week was to make sure that there were no other options, to make sure that there was only one option left. I know not of your motivations, but that would be mine. So let us speculate upon your motivations, money, and the love of thereof. Money buys everything in this country, from tit to tither, everything. Even young bodies are on the market openly. I mean, babies, as I speak, are for sale in this country in one way or the other. Body parts for sale. You guys have turned basically cannibalistic, but that's another goddamn audio. I mean, you eat. I mean, you literally eat everything. When I say everything, nothing is safe upon this planet from your bellies. Nothing. Not even the baby fish. If you can catch it, you will eat it. It will become soup. I mean, damn. But that too is another argument because that's not what we talking about here. I'm just saying that the human species is ravenous. There is nothing but the predator animals. But the predator animals that don't have enough sense to know that if they could but kill and eat you, they would. You, on the other hand, will just kill and eat them first. And that is the only thing that keeps you off their dinner table. The only thing, I promise you, Mr. Lion, Mr. Bear, Mr. Tiger, if you would not kill them on sight, then you long ago would have been floating in gravy on one of their barbecue pits under heavy spice. Now, which brings me to my next point. Okay? Because you're in the same situation. You're in the same situation. Okay? Vis-a-vis what harms you and the reason why you won't deal with it. Because you're afraid of it. You have fallen prey to their victimhood. You've fallen prey to their victimhood that they brought on their own heads. Here's the evidence of it. Here's the evidence of it. Who likes them in this country? And I'm so trying not to call them by name, but they already know who I'm speaking of. But man, you guys are not the brightest. When you say that you can't talk about a nation, you can't talk about a religion, you can't talk about I mean, even that nation's government or its makeup, you can't talk about its policies, you can't talk about its geopolitical affairs, and then you say, well, why do they don't like us like that? Because you've usurped all their rights. You have altered this country. In a discussion, you make up 2% of it, and through your money and your mastery of threats and bribery, you have dominated this gentleman over here that now needs help. He's confused. He look at you and he see him. But we know that when you look at him, you don't see you. That's a fact. And through this method, you have taken control of what he thought was his country, what he thought was his government. You give control of of the the government to someone else, and this is why you having war after war after war after war. This is a fact. You are fighting wars that they came up with on a wish list in the late 80s and the early 90s. Your neo-conservatives. This is why you fighting wars. It was basically a map of we're going to take this country and take this country and then take this country and then take this one and then take this one. And that is the reason. There is no other reason. And every underlying narrative is basically a lie. A lie. And you've fallen so far under their victimhood that they have developed a boldness that, man, listen here. They have developed a boldness and a lifestyle within their own victimhood. And they expect for you to see them as perpetual victims while they still relive 1947, 1948, World War II, relive the Holocaust. They're never again. Listen here, you can do that. You can do that, but might I say that maybe it's more of a tactic and a strategy than a actual feeling? Are you nuts? Where's your grandfather there, man? Are they all dead? Because that's who I need to be talking to. Because, I mean, I figured that you'll listen to them. Maybe I need to visit one of these all-white nursing homes and just ask the ladies at the front, is there an old white man in this building that still have all of his faculties? Please, don't call the police. I just want to talk to him. What does he like to do? What does he like to eat? Because I'll be right back. I'll be right back. And he's in room what? Tell him Mr. Barnes is going to stop by. A black man he's never seen ever in his life. Tell him that Mr. Barnes will have multiple questions about history, his experiences, his understandings. And will he please talk to his son? Slap his ass or something. Kick him. However you used to punish him. Because clearly he's lost control here. I can safely say that your government is at some level of control by other spy agencies. I can say this with a straight face. With a straight face, and nobody's going to say anything because I might start the naming all of the different connections, bribed by, threatened by sex tapes, threatened by sexual affairs and picadillos, innuendo, orientation. One man who has power under such duress can bring down a whole fucking country. They can sink a ship. I'm telling you. they can sink a ship. Every soldier knows this, and you got a house full of them on both sides of the house, full of them, running their ass around in perfect authority and nice suits, running their mouths as they try to protect each other from the work of their own hands, and everyone else is supposed to just sit down as they are maneuvered into one position after another that hurt the rest of the population at large to save their own asses. I'm on fire this morning, ain't I? Jeez, let me have a sip of some liquid here. Tone down this fire. Shit. I'm not even thinking at this point. It's just rolling right off the tongue. It's amazing. This one has lost its way. You damn near make me want to smoke a cigarette inside the house. And you know what? If I'm gonna go that far and cross my own boundary, I may as well roll up the joint of the two and just shut the windows, throw it to the winds, because that's what these guys do. They have thrown it to the wind. Whatever happens, happens. Whatever they say, they say. Whatever they understand, it's too late. I already did that. I'm going to get earmuffs. Let them scream. Where's my MP3 player? What are they screaming about? I've already done it now. What you want me to do? I mean, but that was seen to be the attitude. And it's weird. I mean, we got the people running around and trying to protect themselves in the face. How does the American landscape look? Because you have several incursions based upon lines of ethnicity and that most dreadful word, race, and even religion. As I speak, whole sections of America is being carved out to serve one race specifically, one religion specifically, whole neighborhoods, whole subdivisions. And where's your son at, Grandpa? I can't call you. Okay, my bad. Mr. Stewart it is. He looked at me crazy. Mr. Stewart. And where are you? And where were you? How did you? Nurse, can he withstand a terse talking to? How old are you? He rolling it. Okay, he say he ready. Because he got his own story to tell. He got his own story to tell. And he won't listen. I get it now, sir. I get it. Because the truth of the matter is that generation was warning them. Warning them. The generation before that was warning them. The generation before that was warning them. And the one before that was warning them all the way back to Henry Ford. At least Henry Ford. And they all know exactly who I'm talking to. I may not have to use their names at all. They know who I'm talking about too. I have self-edited. I have self-censored. You see what this leads to? Self-censoring. Self-censoring. No red-blooded American should ever have to censor anything that he or she is about to say. If they don't like it, turn the channel. If you don't like it, then leave. If you don't like it, then maybe you should pay that other guy to leave. But what you don't get to do is to sit there and refuse those options and say he should remain quiet. He is disturbing me. In America. Anyway, 40 minutes in, and I already feel like I ain't said nothing. I do. I feel like I've really said absolutely nothing because you need help, gentlemen. That's why. You can't get out this. You've been sinking, and you've been sinking since Clinton. Down step. down a step, down a step, down a step. The bar has dropped lower and lower and lower. Men of dishonor, men of lack of stature, men of lack of character, and women, and women. All of them dressed in the finest of silks and the richest of perfumes, as they've run this country into the ground, as all of them have secrets on each other. All of them have, so don't expect them to do anything because they're going to act like little boys. They're going to continue to and not save themselves. None of them is willing to say, hey, you know what? I fucked up. This is what happened. This is when it happened, and I fucked up. I'm going to take it on the chin. This is what it is, and these people are going to so want to kill me. But I'm not taking this to the grave with me. Gentlemen, die clean. Die clean. There's absolutely no reason to not die clean. I don't give a fuck how you live your life. There's no reason to not die clean. You can't take this shit with you. I'm telling you this now. If you lay ownership to it, it is yours, and you are busily laying ownership to it. Quit trying to own every motherfucking thing. Quit. You leave nothing to any natural order of anything. Every detail is always thought out by you. Nothing comes clean out your mind that doesn't exit a filter of self, a filter of self. First self as a white guy, and then self as a tribe. Man, I am self-censoring this morning. Who put that filter on me? Maybe there's a filter upon my mouth. I don't owe you this. I really don't. I don't owe you this. I don't owe them this either. But the point being, hold on. However, excuse me, I had to pause, and so I may have lost my track, but we're going to hop right back in. So let me get this straight. Am I to understand that your CIA doesn't see all of this? See, the one thing about the gathering of intelligence is that you must leave intelligence. Okay? So everything I know they know. I know they know. Plus more. Who's guiding them? Who's guiding them? Who is driving this ship into the rocks? Who? Who? Are you really willing to do this? Change the very fabric of America, the very culture of America, to satisfy another national's needs, wants, and their forever clinging nature to victimhood, to the point that everything must be about them. I'm going to tell you again, this is a tactic. And through that tactic, they have gotten everything they have wanted. They have marched you into war after war, made you fund even their military adventurism. Because that's what it is. It's military adventurism with no end in sight, with them knowing that the world knows everything, who they are, where they came from, who the real Jews are. The whole world knows. Look at it from their eyes. Please, look at it from their eyes. What would you do? Just what they're doing if you can. Muck everything up. They know that there's no way out of this. There's no way out of this. Hell, actually, there are several groups in the United States that know there's no way out of this. Wrong time in America's evolution. Wrong time. I mean, as I speak, you have, man, I'm not going into it. I'm not going in. I'm not going to do that. Because again, if you start to go down the list of the bifurcations and within the American population, then you will offend someone who doesn't want to be seen like that, as if it's some kind of negative against them. But at the same time, they're being used like pawns in a huge plot, in a huge chess game. And none of them play chess. They're just the pawns. They're just the pawns. Just the pawns. They're not even bishop, knights, rooks, let alone the king or the queen. Pawns. Pawns. Since when do we allow the pawns to have more power than the queen and the king? When? On any level. You've been outplayed, outfoxed, and outmaneuvered for decades now. I guarantee you that they have a dossier on every last one of you. I'm talking about these guys over here that don't want to lead anymore, but would just to be preferred to be told what to do, as long as they can get paid. But remove the money. No, you were gonna do what you're told eventually anyway. It's why I don't respect you anymore. You were just like the black people. They do what they're told, and seemingly, sir, so do you. Enjoy the rest of your morning. I am Source. I am 7. I am 1.